Hello folks, episode 2 from the bar here, where I got all my booze and accoutrement and stuff back here, up in beautiful Idlewild, California. So, not to be too topical, but I guess it is, I wanted to talk to you guys about coronavirus, pandemics, flus, and I have a little bit of an interesting background because I spent a number of years working in a hospital doing maintenance where we had to work on the air handling systems and air purification systems and positive and negative airflow and spreading infection, working very closely with epidemiology and infection control departments and nursing departments and doctors. So even from a layperson, I had a pretty good experience to how this stuff works. And also, I had experience a number of years ago, I think it was 2015, 2016, that time frame. The flu season was really, really bad, and I remember working at the hospital, and we actually had to go get heaters and benches from Home Depot and put them out because our waiting room was so full of people and kids who were so sick. That was a bad year, and it's something like 80,000 people or something. Some like outrageous number of people die worldwide, and then a big chunk of people die every year from the flu. Like, it's absolutely outrageous alone. And then as of right now, late February, the coronavirus total I think is over 2,500 worldwide, so it's reported. But that's the other thing, is you never know with China. They say 80,000 infected. It's probably 2 or 3 times that much. And how many people died of it? Well, how many people are just dead in a house and nobody knows about it? So the reported numbers, I think they're trying to keep very, very low, because China is, don't forget, their communist regime, their dictator, everything is closely controlled, their internet, everything is completely controlled there, so we'll never really know the truth. And they're such a financial powerhouse that they're really trying to keep trade up. I think the last couple days today, the Dow's been down like almost 2,000 points the last couple days, so trade fears and stock market. And by the way, it's a side note, everybody's like, oh my god, the stock market. And it's like, if you're an investor, you want the market to go down because that's a good time to buy. You know, the market goes up and down, that's how you make money. If it's always going up, yeah, you can make money, but you need to take advantage of these low points, put a little bit of extra in your retirement. If you've got an investment app, you know, throw $100 at a stock here. Yeah, that's, you know, people forget that the market goes up and down and it's for a reason and it's a good thing. And if you're an investor or a trader, whatever you want to call yourself, that's a good thing when the market goes down. Now, I'm not saying coronavirus is a good thing, but there are some odd things. I know there's a lot of stuff online, conspiracy theories that coronavirus was started in a laboratory, and it may or may not be true as a biological weapon. There's some very curious things that I've been hearing about coronavirus, that it affects a lot of male men worse than anything else. And it really affects smoker, and especially in China, where over, I think it's like 55% of the population smokes, that if you have any kind of respiratory trouble, asthma, sleep apnea, a history of pneumonia, lung surgery, lung cancer, smoker, emphysema, that kind of shit, it seems that coronavirus really hits you hard and really takes you out, which is really kind of interesting. The other thing, unlike the common cold and common flu, coronavirus seems to be hitting children not hard at all. Children have a very high survivability rate with coronavirus, which was kind of odd. The other thing that I'm noticing as of today, what is it, February 26th, hearing all over the news, is in the Middle East and in South America, it's popping up in cities and towns and villages that have no connection to China, no connection to other parts in the East. In fact, the original site that it came from, they had a bunch of people infected in Wuhan, China that weren't even at this fish market. Reportedly came from bat soup or something, and people are saying no, who had no connection to that. So if you want to be a conspiracy theory and think that some unnamed organization, either good, bad, or indifferent, is spreading this, it would sure seem like, almost like it's being sent in an envelope to some random city and someone's being infected, or some spy somewhere is going around and painting a doorknob at City Hall and some village in somewhere and letting it spread from there, or going to an airport. And I think the big problem too is they're finding a lot of people who have it aren't reporting it because they don't want to be quarantined, they don't want to be shunned and kept aside and miss work, and I just think that's so stupid. And like when I had employees that would come in sick, especially when we worked in a hospital and you don't want to get other people sick, it's like, stay home. You're not a hero if you go into work sick. You're not doing anybody any favors by not calling out and showing up and expressing it. Just go home, come back when you're over it, drink lots of fluids, get lots of rest. Zinc works well, vitamin C works well, I guess elderberries work well. Just get lots of rest, drink lots of fluids, and take your damn Dayquil and get over it. Stay home if you're sick. I hate that about employees that think they're some kind of macho hero showing up sick. It's the same thing if you're with your family and you got to put a burden on your wife or your husband or somebody else to take care of your kids for a few days while you hide out and get over it. It's better if you hide out and get over it than having the whole house being sick. So, take care of yourself first. You can't help others unless you take care of yourself. That's the first rule of survival, and in pandemics and natural disasters and man-made disasters and without rule of law situations is you can't take care of your family, your community, your friends, your neighbors. You can't take care of any of that if you don't take care of yourself. So stay healthy out there. Use hand sanitizer. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth when you cough. If you think you're getting sick, hit the vitamin C and zinc. Go to bed early. Lay off the alcohol. Take care of yourself. But yeah, there's a lot of fishy stuff with this coronavirus. And honestly, our media, like everything else, I think they're as big as culprits as any. It's a real threat, but they're blowing it way out of proportion, even compared to the regular flu. So coronavirus, as of February 26th, it's a real threat. They're saying it has a potential to be pandemic. I guess there's a bunch of different layers of that, of what causes a pandemic. There is no vaccination as of right now. We'll get a vaccination by the time this is over. They're even talking about canceling the Olympics. And if you wanted a weapon to bring the economy to a halt, bring worldwide fears to a halt, maybe have a period of recession, you wanted a period to get people in their house to save money, to stop stimulating the economy, to bring travel, the world to its knees, the possibility of delaying elections and voter turnouts, the possibility of delaying major things like the Olympics and other world events. A virus, a biological virus, seems like a good way to do it. And not a conspiracy theory, not saying what it is, but it does kind of fit those puzzles. Because it is mysterious where this stuff comes from. And there are, like, if you follow Tinfoil Hat, Sam Tripoli, and it's kind of all over the internet about where this stuff may have come from. I find it very interesting, this whole coronavirus thing and how people are responding to it. It's funny, I was going through some stuff here and I found a box of N95 masks. You use them if you're going to be contacted to, like, tuberculosis or SARS or Ebola, and you have your whole goggles and your whole little biohazard suit. It's one of the lower levels. And you can't find them at Home Depot. You can't find them anywhere right now. And I found a box, and I'm like, should I put them on eBay? Should I keep them? I mean, they were in the garage for, like sanding and using lacquer and stuff like that. But I was like, maybe I can make a few bucks on eBay, save a couple for myself. But most people don't realize with the N95, they're like a dust mask on steroids. Don't pinch with your fingers. You got to use this. They have to be fitted to your face. If you're scruffy, you won't get a good seal. And I see people using the paper mask that they have at hospitals. I see people driving around and wearing them all the time. I've seen people where they pull them down and let their nose hang out because they can't breathe. It's not doing anything. Not doing anything at all. Those paper masks are droplet precautions, like if someone sneezes directly in your face. If it's airborne and it's in the air in general, you're going to breathe it in. Just those regular blue hospital masks, they don't seal well enough. They're kind of almost for if you sneeze in there to protect other people. I guess there's a very low level of protection, but those masks are really just to make you feel better. They don't really do a whole lot. I remember we used to wear them all the time in a hospital. And if it's airborne or air droplets or anything like that, it can get in the sides, it can get in there. And like I said, I see people that have holes worn in them, or they're putting them down over their nose, or they're not tight, or they're gapped on the sides letting air in. And at that point, why are you even wearing a mask? You just look silly. So just keep your immune system up and drink lots of water, and maybe limit your exposure. You go to the grocery store once a week instead of a couple times a week. If you take your kids to the park like I do, don't be afraid. Just as soon as they're done, sanitize their hands. If they try to eat anything or stick their fingers in their mouth, stop them. Just watch them. Just be a little more vigilant. And I think that's how we're going to beat this. And if you do feel sick, not saying it's coronavirus or a cold or a flu or whatever you got, just stay home, wipe down your door handles, get over it, don't go to work, don't go to school, just stay home. Life will continue without you. Nobody's that important. So anyway, that's just kind of this from the bar episode talking about coronavirus. Thank you very much, and stay safe in the woods and the big cities.